My name is Elizabeth DeRubo, and today I wanted to begin by diving into a world that most of us are incredibly familiar with, the magical world of television. I'm here to show you how the right cinematic masterpiece can change your life forever. Alright, so one of mankind's primal instincts is to conserve energy whenever possible. Scientifically, this means that you're not actually lazy. You just have fantastic animal instinct. So when we watch an intriguing show, our brains produce dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure in the brain. So this is because of the engagement that we have through a captivating series. We're stimulated by new sounds, new images, new people, and new events. Hundreds of millions of people are attracted to the screen daily because of how it truly makes you feel good. Alright, so let me talk to you a little bit about dopamine emission. So we release the most dopamine when we are learning something important while we are doing something we enjoy. Add your favorite TV show on top of it, and it can be seen here that you can be left twice as happy as the average TV show. So now begins our quest. How do we find the right TV show? Circumstances couldn't be better to prove my theory. Now's the time to put science to the test. Quarantine, the reign of mullets, pet tigers, Jeffree Star. No friends, no Disneyland, no vacation. The world is distraught. Who will bless us with happiness in such a troubling time? I have searched, pirated, and explored the abyss of Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus alike, and luckily, I have discovered two authentic diamonds. Exhibit A, behold, Avatar: The Last Airbender, a childhood favorite that resurfaced to fame after the recent release of the series on Netflix. Alright, so now I'm going to dive into what makes Avatar: The Last Airbender so incredibly special, and a little brief rundown. So what I love about it is that it is a show that both kids and adults alike can enjoy. For example, over winter break, I had the honor of visiting my cousins. Avatar was a show that I watched not only with my 9-year-old twin cousins, but also my 40-year-old aunt, and we all enjoyed it. Additionally, there are the most deep, complex, lovable characters. I can bet anyone who is watching this video right now that if you do not like Aang by the end of this show, I will pay up $50 to you, and you have my word. Also, the fantasy and the deep world building makes this show feel absolutely magical. I get giddy watching it because it makes me feel like a little kid again. As well as the themes of harmony and balance, this is the most incredible show you could ever show anyone to become a better person. I also like that it highlights characters with disabilities, which we will see a little bit in the next slide. Alright, let's take Toph for example. My absolute favorite character. Toph is one of the most incredible humans because when it comes to character building, it doesn't get much better than her. For example, she is a fierce and powerful earthbender who is blind, and despite her obstacles, she's one of the very strongest characters who doesn't take crap from anyone. You can see here, and these other characters, Zuko, Aang, Sokka, Katara are just as unique and special as individual snowflakes, each with their own lessons of life. Alright, now another little topic that I wanted to delve in on was the magic of feminism in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which makes this show incredibly unique and beautiful. So I wanted to emphasize Sokka and Suki's relationship in this one. Sokka begins in the story as a witty teenage boy who turns his nose the other way when it comes to understanding girls. That is until Suki comes along and shows him the power of women. She is a strong Kyoshi warrior inspired by Avatar Kyoshi shown here, and she teaches Sokka the true power of the female. It's really quite uplifting. And additionally, we all needed some positivity throughout these dark times. Like Zuko would say about quarantine, that's rough, buddy. Well, luckily, we have a hero that has saved us all from our own misery. Uncle Iroh. His proverbs are next level. This man deserves to be in a museum with his quotes mounted upon the walls of glory, and I will tell you why. In times of heartbreak, loss, uncertainty, the world's TV's wisest heroes, can heal us all. Inspiration can come through his words. I found inspiration through Uncle Iro when I was doing my college apps. I took this one, for example. Destiny is a funny thing. You never know how things are going to work out, but if you keep an open mind and an open heart, I promise you will find your own destiny someday. That one resonates with me quite a bit. Oh, and how could I forget about this scene? Oh my goodness, this, I have to say, is the world's most touching TV scene of all time, where Uncle Iro honors his late son, Lu Ten's birthday on a hill in Ba Sing Se. Iro pays tribute to him by having a sunset picnic on the hill with a picture frame of Lu Ten himself. He illuminates candles and sings the song Leaves from the Vine, a notably famous tune from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Alright, now on to Exhibit B, my personal favorite, Attack on Titan. Here we go. Alright, so Attack on Titan is a Japanese animated series that surrounds the epic story of a fight for humanity against man-eating, human-looking giants in which we call Titans. This one, I advise, is a little too gory for children, though. This story emphasizes multiple perspectives on the front lines of war. It leaves you constantly finding empathy for not only the heroes, but the antagonists as well, which makes this series especially unique. Now we're going to start with why. Why did I choose anime? Well, let me tell you, I know what you're thinking. This is so weird. Elizabeth turned into such a dork over quarantine. I'm not going to ever watch something this childish looking. Oh my goodness. Well, it turns out this is nothing more than a country's prideful expression of art and culture. If you go into it with an open mind, I promise that you will be pleased. Alright, so now we're going to talk about why I love this show so much, why I hold it so dearly to my heart, what makes it so interesting. Reason number one, the plot. I'm going to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Hajime Isayama, the brains behind the operation. Attack on Titan's impressive storyline is all thanks to this genius. Isayama is known for having incredible plot twists, climaxes, and character development in his stories. He is who Shakespeare always aspired to be, but never could be. Additionally, I wanted to tackle the aspect of relatability in this anime. So, the characters are flawed. Some are cowardly, some are bold, some are insecure yet ambitious. All of them want to succeed and be their own definition of a hero, which is something that we can all empathize with in our hearts. I put some descriptions next to the character images to show you the variety of aspirations and personalities, as well as diversity in the show. For example, this is Armin. His biggest dream is to see the ocean someday and live a life outside of the walls in which he has been stuck in from the Titans. This is Ymir and Historia. They go on an epic journey of self-discovery, and they are also one of my favorites because they show diversity as one of Japan's favorite LGBTQ couples. And this is Sasha and Connie, who I think we can all pretty much relate to because they both goof off a lot, and Sasha is motivated by food, especially potatoes, the most. Reason number 3. I had to include this one. Levi Ackerman. Without large events, it's very, very difficult to get excited about anything these days. But somehow, Isayama pulled it off throughout a global pandemic. How did he do it? Nobody gets you more hyped than Levi. I devote an hour of my time every single week between 1 and 2 p.m. every Sunday, cheering for Levi like he's my favorite athlete. And I have to tell you, he is a forever fan favorite, and his fight scenes are absolutely off the hook. You can see here, this is his fight scene against his Uncle Kenny, who is also an incredible warrior himself. Alright, reason number 4, and one of my all-time favorites, the major life lessons that we extract from this show. Fun fact, Eren, the main character, has the last name of Jaeger, which actually comes from German roots. Much of this anime is actually heavily influenced from World War II, which puts this show in a uniquely relevant context. I love how it tackles many of these concepts in aspects of betrayal, grief, brotherhood, racism, which is incredibly important right now, ambition, purpose, and Eren Yeager's favorite, freedom. Alright, so here are some examples of the theme and concepts that come from Attack on Titan that you cannot get anywhere else. Take Mikasa Ackerman, for example, and her beloved scarf. So Mikasa was orphaned at a young age because her family was attacked by traffickers. Luckily, she was rescued by Eren, right here, and taken in by his family. To keep her warm, he gave her his scarf, which she still wears to this very day. The scarf symbolizes the beauty Mikasa sees in her new family and the beauty she sees in a cruel and unforgiving world. Now here's one of my all-time favorite characters, Jean Kirstein and Marco Boat. So Jean Kirstein was an insecure soldier that joined the dangerous work of the Survey Corps after being inspired by his best friend Marco, who believed in his great potential to become a leader. During battle, Marco was unfortunately and tragically killed, and Jean now fights bravely to honor his fallen comrade, occasionally kissing his sword before battle to honor his friend. It's very sweet. Alright, so I have to say this is what my biggest takeaway from Attack on Titan is, because in quarantine, when I've spent countless hours watching it, how can I not become a better person and learn something incredible from the genius work of Hajime Isayama? Well, this is one of my absolute favorite quotes from him. The difference in judgment between you and me originates from different rules derived from past experience. So this basically means that there are two sides to every story, but empathy is the greatest key to an open mind. So beyond war, there is always going to be mankind to defend. There is no true distinction from good and evil because the definition of it varies for absolutely everyone. Therefore, we must live and dedicate our hearts to a world with love, because that is the only correct answer that has been portrayed in this show. There we go. All right. Now, before I send you guys off, I wanted to do a little bit of an interactive. So I wanted to educate this class on how to properly do the Survey Corps salute. So step one, you're going to make a fist with your hand, and you are going to turn your wrist so the pinky is closest to your chest. Now, you're going to hold this closely and firmly to the center of your chest. And fun fact, I'm going to teach you a little bit of Japanese here as well. So this actually means Shinzo wo Sasageo. And Shinzo wo Sasageo is one of the franchise's most famous catchphrases, and this means dedicate your hearts. There's a song that goes like this: Sasageo, Sasageo, Shinzo wo Sasageo. It basically is talking about dedicating your hearts, and I think it has the most powerful message, and it's a very catchy too. Alright, so here are some honorable mentions that I wanted to mention because let's say you're not as cool to watch Avatar and Attack on Titan because, oh, I don't know, there must be something wrong. I have many amazing shows that I've picked for you. For example, I watched Outer Banks, Julie and the Phantoms, Schitt's Creek is pretty funny, Hawaii Five-0, My Sister Swears by Criminal Minds, and my all-time favorite during quarantine, next to Attack on Titan, would have to be Hunter x Hunter. And God, that show is amazing. That's all I'm going to leave you at. So I have my bibliography here, and I just wanted to tell all of you guys thank you so much for watching, and I'm really grateful that you attended my TED Talk today. Have a great day, and Shinzo wo Sasageo.